Good morning, guys. Today we're going to look at solving triangles. We're going to look at two different things. On the first slide, we're going to look at how to find the values of x, y, and z. And then on the second slide, we're going to try to find a missing angle from two sides. So I'm going to start on this first one because I'm given a 90-degree angle, a 72-degree angle, and I'm trying to find z. So I know all three angles of the triangle are going to add up to be 180 degrees. I've already got 90, so I'm going to take that away. And I've already got 72, so I'm going to take that away. So if I do 180 minus 90 minus 72, it's going to tell me there's 18 degrees left for angle Z. So Z is going to be equal to 18 degrees. Okay. Now I try to ignore that Z now because I already know what it is, and I guess it may help me if I actually write in the number here. Okay. So now I want to find either X or Y. I'm going to start with X. And even though I found 18, I still like to work off the original number that was given to me of 72 degrees. And I was also given 6. So I'm going to use these two pieces of information to find X. So the 72 degrees, side X is opposite of the 72. And side 6 is adjacent to 72. If we go back to our acronym SOHCAHTOA, we can look and see that we're looking for the opposite side, and we know the adjacent side, so we're going to use tangent. So the tangent of 72 degrees is going to be equal to the opposite divided by the adjacent. The opposite is x, divided by the adjacent side of 6. And from here, we'll just need to solve this out to find the value of x. So since x is divided by 6, if I multiply it by 6, the 6 in the numerator and the 6 in the denominator will cancel each other out, leaving me just with x. But being an equation, I have to do it to both sides to keep it balanced. And I'm going to end up with 6 times the tangent of 72 is equal to the value of x. So let me pull up my calculator here. So for me, I'm going to type in the tangent of 72 first, and that's going to give me just a decimal number, because remember, these are all ratios. So if I do 72 and the tangent of that number, it gives me 3.078 and so forth. And then I'm going to take that number and multiply it by 6. That's going to tell me the side x should be 18.47. Okay. And for side y, I've already found x, but I'm not going to use x to find anything else. I'm going to use, just like I did on my first one, or the second one, I guess, the numbers given. So I was given the angle of 72. 6 is the adjacent, and I'm looking for y, which is the hypotenuse. So for this one, I'm going to use adjacent and hypotenuse, which is cosine. So the cosine of 72 is going to be equal to the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. The adjacent side is 6. We're looking for the hypotenuse, which is labeled with y. Okay, kind of the same process here, except for we're going to have to do one extra step. I'm going to multiply both sides by y, and that's going to give y out of the denominator. So it's going to cancel y's on this side, leaving me y times the cosine of 72 is equal to 6. And remember, cosine of 72 is just a number. And sometimes I like to just punch this number in ahead of time so I know about what that decimal is. Cosine of 72 is 0.31, we'll call it for the sake. Okay, so this is like y times 0.31 is equal to 6. But to get this out of the way and get y by itself, I need to divide by the cosine of 72. So y times the cosine of 72 divided by the cosine of 72 cancels out to just y. So y is going to be equal to 6 divided by cosine of 72. And one thing I should note in this video is, notice on my calculator it says I'm in degree mode. Make sure you're always in degree mode and not radians or any other modes that your calculator may have. All right, so I'm going to type in 6 divided by, and in my calculator I have to do 72 cosine. And notice that's that 0.31 number again. So it's like my calculator is reading this as 6 divided by 0.31. So now I have to tell to calculate that. And that's going to tell me y is 19.42. Okay, so now we've solved for x, y, and z. All right, the other thing I want to talk about today is how to find a missing angle when you're given two sides. So I'm looking for angle x. I'm given the opposite and I'm given the hypotenuse. So I have the opposite and I have the hypotenuse. So I'm going to use sine. So the sine of angle x is going to be equal to the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. Okay, and in this case, I'm looking for x. I'm not looking for a variable in either the opposite or the hypotenuse. The variable is the angle. So our calculators, if we type in sine to the negative first power, and then what our sides are. And every calculator is going to be a little different. But, you know, I know this angle is going to be somewhere between 0 and 90 degrees. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 51 divided by 54 and find out what that number is. It's 0.94 is the ratio I'm looking for. And then if I go to my trig button, notice I've got sine, cosine, tangent, all these. I'm going to hit second, and now I get the -1 functions. So I'm looking for sine to the negative first power of 0.94 repeating. And that's going to tell me that angle is, I think in this assignment, I'm having you round to a whole number. So x is going to be 71 degrees.